Hi, if you're new here, I'm Kanita, and if you're already watching this channel, welcome back. Today we are doing a Patreon request for December, and it is actually a film this time. It's called Synecdoche, New York, 2008. I tried my best to pronounce it, and I was a bit confused about the title, so I did Google that word. That's just like a literary thingy when you call a whole by just a part of it. So I don't actually have any examples. I just checked like a Russian example because it's called the same Synecdoche, and we do call, like, for example, we'd say not a home, but would that be like a furnace in English, something like that. So this is this kind of trope, I suppose, and I had kind of the pleasure when looking for this film, seeing how it was translated in Russian, and so the name is just New York dot New York, which I guess is most simple to understand, but I'm curious what this film is going to be about. I suppose it's just going to be maybe about life in New York. It's like part of a whole, maybe little parts of New York as like representation of the city itself, or even maybe representation of a state, because the state is called New York and the capital is also called New York. So I'm not really sure, maybe like the capital is this part of the whole that is the state. So again, this is just my thoughts going in. I don't know pretty much what to expect, so I guess this is going to be a blind reaction, and also, as always, it's going to be a follow along reaction, so you would need your own copy. I'm going to watch like the whole film. It's going to be here in this video, but it's going to be only subtitles and the timer, and I will show a little bit of the beginning so you can synchronize, and a little bit of the ending. So just keep that in mind. But with all that said, let's watch this movie. Let's go. Okay, it's going to be 2 hours long. Starts with a song. Doesn't seem to be any subtitles for it though. For the song, I mean. When I'm buried in... Wait. Okay. Oh, that's sweet. Sounds interesting. Because it's the best season. Yeah, that's the classic approach, I think. It is beautiful. Let's go. Well, I don't think it's necessarily truthful, but I like poetry like that. You know, depressing kind of poetry, like stopping in the woods on, like, what it was on the winter night. Is that the whole title? Like that one as well. Maybe she needs a doctor? What the fuck? Is his poop also green? Maybe they are all contaminated. How to say it? Infected. The food was contaminated and they are all infected. That's... What the heck? This dude just casually watching him. Maybe she's sick. Why they don't care? I don't. That's a bit strange to me. Okay, there's a lot of like illness theme. It seems just straight from the beginning. Yeah, this looks good. It looks like a sandwich. And also like newspapers are all about death, it seems. And I guess autumn was also about death. So is this like the theme of the movie? Illness and death and stuff? Gosh. Holy shit! What the fuck? Girl, just call the ambulance. It's like a shit ton of blood. Oof. Yellow. Wait, bowel. For eyes, right? Ophthalmolog? It's for eyes. Ah, yeah, like becoming bigger and smaller, that's... Well, that sounds more correct. Maybe. That's like vaccine, maybe what she's talking about. That would be nice, wouldn't it? And pipes. Mm. Metal? Well, not necessarily, though. These don't look like... I don't know. Like a radiator, it also has pipes, right? Okay. No. I Dude, why is he looking at him like that? It happens, you know. Well, I guess they're like connected. I'm sorry. This doctor is so, I don't know. Their conversations are so strange. It's theater. The decorations broke. Is he like a director? Part of the like director crew? Like, mm-hmm. About her acting? Everyone talks to him, I think, mostly very sweetly, so he seems to be like a nice person to everyone at his job. Ew, is that poop? Well, it doesn't look green, I think. Oh, wait, I didn't notice. I didn't really want to look at it, to be honest. No, I think his stool as in like... This is like family therapy. I'm scared. Fantasized. Wouldn't it be harder? But that's... Wouldn't it be just harder for her if he dies? She would still have like the kid and everything. But she would be have to do it all alone. Okay, maybe this girl likes him actually. But everyone in his job is nice to him, but that's a woman from his job, right? The one that was sitting at the desk. I hope I'm not wrong. A trial by whom? Like by the Kafka had, I think, a book that was unfinished. Her voice is very pretty. And he looks shy, like from the way he holds himself. This is a plumber? What is she doing? I'm curious. So she works at home? She's drawing. Looks cool. Her glasses look super cool. Ah. Well, if she has a deadline, this can't be helped. Yeah, that's the same girl that likes him. Did she have a name? Well, I have 2 hours to remember everyone's names. Okay, so this is like premiere. Oh, it ended already. Wait. Is it the same girl that was like in a wig? Because she said that was a wig. But it's hard for me to recognize a character if they change their hair. Maybe at least La wife. Oh. That was a sudden change in conversation. She didn't even like keep up with what he was saying. She was like, I like. I don't know. Maybe there is already like some fling between them. It feels like it's not just like she has a crush, but like there is something already there. She drew away crying. I thought he was interested in her suggestion. Wait. Now she... Okay, let's see. That's the actress that also kind of kissed him on the forehead. So it's like morning. So I suppose he feels like unappreciated. Um, like that he feels like she doesn't maybe support enough that he's like art. Oh gosh, there's a fire. And she seems like have finished her work, but and then had time to get stoned with her friend. I mean, this is a reality and she wants to buy this house. Yeah, especially. I would prefer like to live in a flat. It's probably cheaper too. Well, depends on like depends. Is it? I think it's pretty big. That's like a genuine concern. and I'm sorry, what? There's also a man living in the basement, and you kind of have to take the house visit. Is it like a satire on the market in USA? Because I heard like it's pretty bad, it's like house market. Okay, so she came, just not on the opening night. Okay. That's nice. I like going to theater. I think it's really fun. But I'm not like a acting critic or anything, you know. What happened? So he is also supposed to like right place? And this was just a restaging and they're like you had to do something original? Oh, that's sweet. And the dude in the movie looks exactly like him in the animated movie on TV. Okay, obituaries. Hilo just loves reading obituaries. So positive. Okay. Yeah, I understand why he's upset. But also, like, she probably thinks they would benefit from. What? Okay, that's informational. Same. I don't think she's crazy. Again, the dude watching him. Is this like also maybe representation of how it's called? Like of old age, like of the future, so to say? And she just recently said that she fantasized about him dying, so imagine how he must feel. Okay. I mean, at first it is a crush. It is like, but then you kind of make it work or you don't, and it's about attachment and friendship, I think. But it seems like their home isn't really like working well. It seems. And she feels like she needs her time alone, and he feels unloved and unappreciated. And maybe also not heard. So it isn't working really well. And yeah, I wanted to say that maybe like now he's like in a fall, and that old man is like representation of his winter. He like wait. What's he doing? He just brushed his teeth and now he's cleaning the floor with the same brush. What is going on? He cleaned everything. It's very clean now. Maybe that was to kind of meditate in a way, you know, be distracted by something or. Yes! Oh wait, she has this some problem too. But maybe it's just from her shoes. Mm. Okay. Nah, thanks. He says? Does he? Did he? But I think his feelings are what like many people can relate to. That they want to do something meaningful before they die. You no, please. I'm sorry, I can't. And thank God. I'm very. You, is she stoned again? It was so strange. There's a party. I'm famous. Oh gosh, is he having a stroke or something? Yeah, his health is like falling apart. Well, he's fine now. That's good. It's good to be Adele. But yeah, I wanted to say that I relate to his feelings. I even have. Oh, that's his wife. Um, a poem that I wrote. What is this? Oh, that was kind of named and had the line as like, "What will remain after me?" Then, and I feel like that's also kind of what he feels. Yeah. I'm not a doctor, even I got said something like that. And he's also so sick, and that quote from his wife was, "I only want to be with healthy and joyous people," and he's not healthy and joyous. So he felt maybe like a bit personal about it when he read that journal, that magazine. I'm sorry. Yeah, you said it a few times already. I don't know. Should you really like hit on someone who is married? She knows it, right? I mean, of course, he would be guilty too if he like agrees to it and the fling happens. But she's guilty as well. And I know he has problems with his wife, but that's not a reason for cheating, like for both of them. Okay, you want a calendar? nasty. I don't want to drink that. Yes, her finger. Because I feel lonely and I feel unloved. And I see that kind of you are interested in me, so it makes me happy and wanted and like stuff like that. I think that's what it's about. What the fuck? She's also so strange, to be honest. Maybe she's like, well, I also want to be like feel revered and loved. But it's not working out. Well, they drank. He must be stressed. And I feel like, especially with everything that's happening, that sex is not what he really needs. I think what he wanted was some psychological support. Not. And she maybe was more interested in the sexual part. This is just a mess. Change like how? Do you want him to like... Does she want him to divorce and marry her? Does she want to just have fun with him? I'm not sure. She's very confusing. I don't really understand her. Maybe when she said like, I'm 46 already, I need a home. Maybe that's the reason. Wait, she said not to read it. Not read it. What's that? So he gets like a grant? About how life is fleeting. I think he can get a lot of inspiration from this film. And like I said, like I wrote a poem, he will make a theater play. She needs new shoes. What the fuck? You sure a 4-year-old wrote all of that? That's not what I was writing. Are you sure, girl? I mean, I had some depressing pieces when I was tiny, but you just don't have this kind of knowledge, you know, from like what everything that she said. It's mostly just like your imagination. Okay. Mm-hmm. Whoa. Wait, it actually looks super atmospheric, to be honest. Like, come on. Like, don't change anything. Set the play, like, just there. Well, as long as it's safe, of course, for the actors. I'm sorry, I read the subtitles before he, like, said it. I'm like, what? 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 Like, that's not quite what I feel when I go to theater. I respect his opinion. But for me, it's like you are transported maybe a bit to a different world usually, and you just like you come here to enjoy your time. I think, yeah, of course there are plays that are more like thoughtful and deep, and you have something to think about. But not to the extent that he was saying. Yeah, it would be better to work with a person who you don't have any like these kind of connections with, you know? Even like with friends maybe. Oh, he's feeling unwell again. Oh shit. What the fuck, man? Reading your daughter's diary, that's like. Oh, that's her novel. Thanks. So he wanted to give her something nice. That's like he read the diary for an idea. Still, that's fucked up. Don't read your children's diaries. Okay. Oh, thanks. She's so sweet. Sooner or later, yeah. I mean, he is not incorrect, right? And I'm sure, like, many people, like, think about. I'm pretty sure, like, that. That's one of the reasons religion was, like, thought of and made up. Mm-hmm. Well, hoping, maybe not believing. I think she would just appreciate anything. Which one? Which one? That was so out of pocket. Honestly, when I was reading that novel, Brothers Karamazovs, I'm not sure how it was translated to English. I felt pretty depressed while reading it. I felt like, oh shit, yeah. I think like this film goes a lot for like realistic awkwardness of the conversation. Well, she's a bit like too. There's nothing revolutionary about the thought of like death and finity and stuff like that. I mean, that's fair. I think she's the kind of person, she's just super like. She believes in him as an artist very much. She's very inspired kind of person. Oh shit, what? That's a bit sudden. She wants maybe like to distract her. So we don't know even the relationship with her mom. A lot of stuff is happening. So this girl is also interested in him. Oof. What? Okay. Is this like his fantasy from her saying meat? Investigate what? What is going on? Is he asleep? Okay. That's her book? Wait, is she saying like, you were my only client? Ah, wait, he didn't make the decision yet if he's getting the book or not. thought he just got it. Even though, like, her book seems pretty useless. Well, at least in his fantasy. Actually, after he got the grant, she sat on the same couch with him. She was like, Wait, she actually has it? In the book? What is... No, that's probably still the fantasy. Oh, that was a cool graffiti. Oh, she looks cool. Hello. Did this all like actually happen? I'm a bit confused. Probably not. Oh, that's his present. So yeah, there are like the too many strange things happening. So that's... Oh, I actually... tear substitute. I wanted to say that I do use eye drops. That they really help. Because my eyes feel tired. But at the same time, I don't know. So yeah, again, I feel confused. Either it's like his crazy fantasy in his head, or like it all actually happened and so much time has passed. Because she said like she's 11 now, but that was too crazy, I feel like. What is going on? Cute. And I feel like he's around maybe 40, right? That's often when like more health problems start happening, I guess. And many people think it's kind of age where you're going over this brink to being old. Though, in my opinion, 40 is still pretty young. Let's talk when you're 60. Twins? Oh, that's very sweet of him. It seems like they have a good relationship. She looks happy and sweet. This all escalated so quickly. Okay. Well, good job, dude in red shorts. That's taken care of Errol. And the old dude is here again. Yeah, he is not like a real like person. He's representation, like a metaphor. He's just here all the time. Like a death is looming over him in his mind, and that old dude is a representation of that looming. And another death. He didn't even know. They were like, he didn't even. You didn't even talk to him. Hmm. Yeah, there's also like this fear that, oh, I might have something horrible and I don't know. I have to get everything checked. You mean he was so like super thin? He died from cancer? There's still fire going on all the time in her house? That's very selfish. Okay. I'm happy for her. She got kind of what she wanted, I think. Yeah, Derek seems to be nice. Actually. From nothing that I've seen. Yeah, I think like, yeah, this all like really happened. It just like happened. Because like there's no way that he can still actually read what his daughter is actually writing. So that's obviously like a dream part. So it must be a mix maybe of dreams and realistic parts. And maybe like his fears and connected to his daughter mostly. Like what is going to happen to my daughter? She's gonna get all tattooed and then she will become like a prostitute or something. Because I don't know, is it though? Is this like what really happens, or is this a representation of his fears? What's going to happen with his daughter? Wait, man, 17 years. This is all like depressing, horrible stuff. Conjunctivitis. A job? So she needs a job now. He got a grant and he actually like works on it for 17 years. He didn't do shit yet. Does it work like that? Shouldn't you be like a little bit faster? This is also. I don't think it's like supposed to be realistic. I think it's like a mix, maybe real events. Oh wait, that's that old man. I thought he doesn't actually exist. I thought he's just a metaphor. But that's him. Good. I noticed. You didn't change at all, so. Yeah, that's not concerning at all. Like, imagine hearing that I've been following you for 20 years. I know who you truly are. Like, what? Okay. Cast him? That's him. That's like him in old age, right? That totally. Or he is like playing him. He was like, "You'll see that through you. These are your feelings. This is what's going on inside your mind. I think." Like that plumber said, "Go on. I've seen boy parts." Gray. It can be. It can be gray even. And like, see, there's like a shit ton of pills. So yeah, even if like main line of events is real, I feel like there's a lot of dreamlike sequences and it's not intended to be super like realistic and right. It's a mix of what's happening and his um ew. Yeah, and his own like fears and interpretations. Her smile is very pretty. Anyway. Sublet? This old man is so strange. What is this? This is like... Thanks, man. So that's like her exhibition. Yeah, remember she had very small paintings that she needed glasses for, but I think they weren't that tiny. I think that also might be an exaggeration. Nah, I don't like going into the lift with other people. That's scary. I wouldn't press it. This is a closed space. I'd rather take the stairs anyway. Yeah, I'm totally Ellen. Oh, this looks like a nice apartment. Shower is just going. The building itself looked kind of a bit run down, but the apartment looks so gorgeous. Coffee. A bit of a mess. Where is real Ellen? I mean, it's nice that he's doing that instead of Ellen, but where's Ellen? Yeah, you're thinking a lot, man. Um, I would think it would smell like blood, not like mold and cleaning products. Don't you think that was a strange comparison? There's a lot of mention of menstruating throughout this film too. Maybe because it's also 45. Uh-huh. What was I talking about? Because it's also um, this kind of time where you grow up, you change from one period of life to another, right? When menstruation starts. job. Ew. Totally Ellen. Best totally Ellen. That's very sweet. So it's like representation of his thoughts. Thanks. And her apartment now also has a lot of people with everything. I don't know. I feel like maybe the film is also comparing like a life to a play, which is also pretty like popular concept, I think. Like we are actors in our life, in our play. That was first job with the wall. Impressive. Why is she coughing so much? Is she also like not having good health? All of stuff. Is there gonna be another crazy diary entry? Yes, I knew it. Laurel, that's I was Liliana Lee when I was little, though not a fairy. What the fuck? Wait, what's that? Interesting. So if we would go back to my first theory of this all being like not real, it would mean that like just a week as apart from his daughter felt to him like a million of years. Okay, so this is yeah, he is like a completely old man here now, and that's his first wife, Adele. And like she can't even say in English anything now here. So they weren't safely done? What? Yeah, he definitely isn't. German is so pretty. What is going on? I'll say anything. Even if it didn't happen. He never showed any interest in men. I think there could be some implication that there might be something between her and her friend. Like, theoretically, you could spin it that way. But he's totally only into women, it seems, from what we've seen. So this is again a strange, like... a really strange thing happening, you know? Like... that makes you think, what is, like, is this really happening? Is this really going on? Or is this like a flip again? Oh, yeah, and the petal fallen out of the tattoo. And this is a representation of the picture of what he saw that, in his opinion, theoretically was his daughter. You see? That could also be a flip, because he's like, she abandoned him, but it said like that he abandoned her, and maybe she was in love with her friend, but it flips that he was like in love with some kind of dude that names Eric. Maybe that like, honestly, I don't. What did I want to say? The creators of this film hate tattoos. Like, what the heck? I don't have anything against tattoos. About life. Yeah, I guess that's the idea. I'm really curious to see how this ends. Will it just go on like this, or will they just roll back to him and the now and everything? Because like decay has started from the very beginning of the film. It was shown through his physical decay. But also I feel like there was mental decay as well, and now it's just all going completely crazy in my opinion. Oh, there's also an actor for him as well now. So everyone is getting doubles. Yeah, he's just like building a play around his life, and he's supposed to build all of this in a few days. So in his opinion, his life is a play about death, but not only death, about everything. About life. Eh. Ah, that's part of Ellen. What? Scrabble. Yeah, because that's your imagination. Yeah, but here, even though he was Ellen. Wow, it looks even prettier. Ah, no, like, okay, this part is the same. I thought that was a bit different. Because it's open, and this is like not finished. Like that is interesting. I remember she said before, you are no fun. Oh, she outlived his dad by quite a bit, I think. If it's like. Standing with us? What do you mean? What? Okay. Expecting. So that's the woman that plays Hazel here. But she looks very. Is it the same actress? Like, actually, like for this film? He is very fixated on Hazel also in this storyline. The same message. Ah, Holmes invasion. What the fuck? Yeah, actually, imagine like if this actually happens, you can, someone you loved was murdered, and then you have to like clean up after that. It's also like you can't help but imagine like what happened and like, oof. Everyone around him, every single woman around him wants to fuck him. That's totally his fantasy. I can't be real. And that's also like maybe replay of when he went to Hazel then and he said, I'm very, very lonely. And she just wanted to fuck. And he was always saying, I'm sorry because like it didn't work out. Maybe? Yeah, honestly. No, I don't think it helps from loneliness. I mean, if it might help from horniness, but not from loneliness. For loneliness, you find friends, you talk to them. It doesn't even necessarily have to be romantic or sexual, you know. Who knows? Maybe you would still suck at it. Yeah, that's really sweet. Her voice sounds really cool. I think that also kind of comes from the conversation that he had with the actress in that restaurant, and that's exactly where this strange sequence started happening. And she also fixated on Hazel then, saying, okay, I can take like Hazel as an example to play someone real. And Hazel is very much in the center also of this train wreck. Yeah. Why? What did he do? Yeah, that's the main problem. She's just like you. She also offered to have sex. Yeah, he said she looks like you, but did he cry? That's about. Oh gosh. Yeah, it seems to be like that because yeah, as I said, this whole train wreck was very much focused on her, even though it had his relationship with that actress. Hazel was also in the center. He wants to jump? Yeah, that's true. That's why I said because of the death, the religion was fought off because it has the idea that there is something after death. Yeah, actually, I thought about it when he was starting to jump. I was like, he was going to jump, but it was already like in the train wreck sequence. Remember? So that was a bit of, but yeah, he was stopped then. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's also the idea that we discussed before. That this is like every person is like an actor in their play, so to say. The one that I always forgot the name of, Ariel, I think. And then, like, the regrets you have in old age for what you could have had and could have done. I don't know, I feel really bad for like everything that's happening in this movie. It's all just so depressing. You know, guys, newsflash, you can just cuddle. You don't have to fuck all the time you get into the bed. I wonder why is it called like was called like that. Synecdoche, New York. Like the life of people in New York and their troubles and kind of what they go through and their relationships and regrets and worries. Well, that actually sounds pretty, at least. I think it sounds cute. Maybe a bit too long, but pretty. That's cute. Cuddling is nice. The apartment with fire, obviously. So strange. What is this? From the fire, and now she's also dead. I think also like we are going same message to the part where you are old, and he. Okay, that's much better. That's the usual. I think often plays take like in one day, or even like in one place in one day. Happiest day of your life. Okay. Yeah, in the beginning he was reading obituaries, and now we got to like this kind of age where he is already pretty old, and people around him start dying from. Well, honestly, when you are young, people around you are also dying. So, but yeah. Maybe like means That's true. There's also the actress that he chose for Ellen, while he was actually Ellen, so it makes sense why she's now playing him, I think. Like he was playing Ellen. I think that's what we are watching, like these years, this option of what happens with this kind of choices for him. That's also his feelings. As I said, he didn't feel heard. I mean, I'm sorry, that's kind of funny. Fuck everybody. I mean, but I think, yeah, I guess this play is the representation of how he feels, his feelings, how he can see like his life goes. And also maybe. Now he's going to be Ellen and she's going to be Caden. Yeah, I think that makes sense. But also, wait, I had some other thought I wanted to express and now I forgot. Here 8. No. The audio? Oh. she's so sweet. I'm weak to grandmas. They are adorable. This is like instructions for life now. He is now being like instructed what to do. Oh, it's his boyfriend Eric from that scene with his first wife dying with the tattoo. Yeah, and through this whole train wreck sequence, we didn't like. Yeah, he did see his daughter in some sequences that looked more like his fears. But him missing his daughter. Was also like a constant. He was like looking for his daughter, he was missing his daughter, and she was like not really present. The both of his parents died, and we didn't really see him interact with them that much as well. So he wasn't really in their life that much, as I felt. Now he look. That's. Oh, little cuties. Even more like his winter version that was following him. Um, and this building is even more run down. So everything around is like in the decay. That's why we started from the talking like of fall and poems inspired by fall. Even outside, there's even like dead bodies. Gosh, that book looks crazy. Yeah, time goes fast. Well, there's different way to look at it. You could say that every person is special. even though here they do have doubles. It's like he said, every single person is like themselves without doubles. There's actually no two like same people. Everyone is unique. um though this text says it's more like you're not special, you are just a part of the whole, I guess, again going back to the title. Thanks, is it gonna happen every minute? Mostly dead. Okay, very positive, yes. And they're just bodies just lying around. Yeah, you've been tired and lonely for many years, I think. Oh. Mm-hmm. I don't think he said anything for what you need to apologize. He just stated the fact. And not in a mean way. Hmm. What? Yeah, so, and maybe it's also about like hopes and dreams. Everyone, every single person living in the city, they all have their own hopes and dreams and what they want their future to become. But then time passes, and sometimes you look back at it and you realize maybe you made the wrong choices or you didn't do enough and you didn't realize your dreams, and then you feel this like regret and everything. So, this, I guess, the main two ideas. Now the screen is kind of blanking out. Maybe we'll go back and it will be revealed. Die. After all, as a like. Let's see. I'm really curious. The there's nothing. That's just then. So I don't know. It kind of all went really in a crazy fear. Wait, that music is so pretty in the credits. People who are not aware of me. Mm-hmm. It's my little wheel. You are the one I like the best. Interesting. The song makes more impact. I think I should have maybe thought about this more as well, about loneliness. And he said many times how he is so lonely. He repeat, like, there were a lot of things that were repeated throughout this film. Okay. And he did say many times with all his encounters that he feels lonely, so he was looking for his little person. But I don't know, the song was very interesting in the end. I think it kind of tries to also explain the film, and the film itself by the end of it also was trying to explain some things, in my opinion. And just many things about this film reminded me of some themes from actually Russian literature, which, to be honest, I'm not used to seeing in Western media, in Western books, especially like if you look at the classic Russian literature. It's all very depressing. It's all about, like, at first, maybe not necessarily, but for example, the main idea is that in Western, especially maybe in American literature, you start with nothing, and by the end of the book, you have achieved your dream. You are successful and happy, and maybe like in a relationship, etc., you get everything. Whilst in Russian literature, you might start with everything, and you will end up with nothing, and maybe dead. Like, if you are lucky, probably. It's like everything falls apart, everything goes wrong, and there are also a lot of these confusing dialogues of people saying strange half things. And I'm not a huge fan of Russian classic literature, because not only because it's depressing, but also it's hard for me to understand the motivations of the people. I understand they lived like much earlier in the timeline than I do. What are these words I'm choosing? Anyways, you get it. it was a different time, people were different, but it's sometimes it's hard to understand their motivations, and with these like half dialogues when they are implying something and you are reading and you are trying to figure out what the heck is going on and what are they talking about. And so this film was exactly that. It was it doesn't necessarily have to start with you having everything. It can start from any point. For example, like one of the books has started with a dude killing a person to get some money, so obviously he didn't start with everything, but he had his freedom at least, unlike in the ending of the book. But I think the idea is usually more about soul searching, while mostly in the Western classic literature it's about achieving some physical things, like money, success. Well, success is not a physical thing, but something like that. While in Russian literature it's about achieving an inner peace in yourself, in your soul. And I feel like this film had the same idea, that it was about soul searching in a way. And also another theme that is often seen in Russian classic literature is a theme of a little person. And I even wanted to talk about this before the song, and then in the song she literally says a little person, and I'm like, wait, what? Well, I think that's also a phrase you use for people who are really like small because of some I don't know, medical genetical reasons, but here it's obviously metaphorical, right? So yeah, in Russian literature it's called маленький человек, and it's usually like история маленького человека, a story of a little person. And that would come closer, I think, to like the 19th and especially like 20th, like 19th century, 20th century, especially you would see it maybe in Chekhov's plays as well. And these are also like, yeah, happening in the plays, not in the like novels or stuff. And here we also had a play, but the idea is that you are just taking a story of a regular person. There's nothing like super special, exciting, unusual about them. This is just like, you know, like you and me, a person living his life, and it's usually pretty sad. And here, while I was thinking about it while watching this movie, and I thought, okay, yeah, he got this grant, he doesn't really have to worry about anything, he has some money to live, but that's not the idea here. The idea here is that even though maybe people around him think, oh, he is a special person, he's like this kind of creator that creates cool plays, he's very talented, he can do something incredible, like that actress was looking at him very inspired, believing that he has some like crazy good ideas and she really wants to like work with them, and feels like admires him very much, right? But at the same time we are shown that he is just a little person like everyone in this city. They are parts of this whole, so to say, society, and each one of them is a little person just like him, with their own struggles, their own worries, and their own little life. And so that's what I saw, I think, as the main theme, just about this, just that you are this singular little person. And as it says, like, there's nothing special about you, but I feel it the other way. I feel like every person is very special because there are no two, like, how to say it in English, wait a second, like there's no copy of you anywhere in the world. Yeah, they had doubles, but they weren't, even these doubles weren't exactly the same person, right? They were like different, it's that they were just playing them, but in fact there's no like exact copy of you. Maybe, yeah, there are similarities between the people, but everyone is unique. So in my opinion, everyone is special. But here I think the idea is also how small you feel, how little you feel in this big life, in this big world. And he was also saying that he wants to leave something after him when he dies, right? So there is this desire to make some kind of impact, that you are feeling, okay, when I'm dead, I'm just gone, and I didn't make any impact on this world. I want to do something meaningful. Maybe I want like people to remember me. I want to leave something behind, but I have such limited time, and every choice I make changes the flow of my life. And for example, here we are seeing his life play out in this kind of crazy train wreck play sequence, and it doesn't go really well, to be honest. But we are shown, okay, he made these choices, people around him also made their own choices, and this is how it ended up. And maybe if some choices were different, the outcome would also be different. Then I listened to the ending song also, and I thought, okay, maybe it's also, yes, about loneliness, and maybe I should have paid more attention to this, because he said it lots of times that he feels lonely. When he was married to, what was her name, Adele, he also felt lonely in that marriage. Then he kind of was interested in Hazel, it seemed, but couldn't really do it. And when he came to her, he also said, I feel very lonely. And then he maybe regretted that he didn't make it work with Hazel, and that he actually liked her a lot, because he was very concentrated on her a lot of the time. And then he got to be with her a little bit, and then she died. And then there was just another random person that played in one of the scenes, and he was like, can I just lean my head on your shoulder? So, and then the audio before that said, and then it's going to be over. And then we get this fade to white. So I think that's also the representation of how a person might be scared to die alone. And so here in this moment, he just wanted to not be alone. He wanted to find at least like one. She was the only one person here alive, right? And he just wanted to be with someone in his last moments, so to say. And I think that's also maybe fear that's driving a lot of people dying alone. As we also saw with his parents, his mom died in a home invasion, so obviously she was alone. That was pretty horrific. And his dad, he wasn't alone, but he was calling for his child. And there was also like a whole theme here, I think, about a parent and child connection, described in a lot of ways. Well, I can only look at it obviously from the side of the child. I'm not sure if I can really say what the film was trying to convey here. I just noticed that there was a lot about it, and he was thinking about his daughter a lot, but at the same time his parents maybe were thinking about him, but he wasn't really, we didn't ever see him reaching out to his parents and spending time with them. I feel like many people, they have this argument, you have to have kids because like you don't want to be alone when you're old, you don't want to die alone. How does it say it? Someone will need to give you a glass of water when you are dead. When you are old and dying, some shit like that, when they're trying to convince you to have children. I'm like, but that's not what you have children for. Well, if you want them, it's to just create a new person, and they have their own life. You're not creating them to be like your maid or your caretaker, right? And so yeah, it's cool if they are around when you are old, but not necessarily. They might even die before you. They might move to another country. Like you might have a huge falling out and not talk to them. Like shit can happen. A lot of stuff can happen. You can't just have children with this thought, because of this thought that, oh, I want someone to be with me when I'm old and take care of me. And in this case, we saw that he wasn't with his parents when his dad was dying of cancer, when his mom died, well, she wasn't attacked in her home, right? He wasn't there in their old age, and his daughter wasn't with him in his old age. I feel like there's also this expectation that you're going to maybe... They also talked about the picnic, right? I had a picnic with my mom, and then when I grow up, I'll have a picnic with my kid, like stuff like that, like passing the torch, so to say. Maybe that's also the idea, I think, because the whole film was about... It was like the one life. We didn't even start from the very beginning, right? We started when he already was like, I don't know, around 40 maybe. But at the same time, you are a kid, and then there was like a lot of menstruation. So then you have menstruation, and then it's kind of when you become a teenager, usually you would have it at around 12. And in English language, you have a word teenager like as a part of age, right? So when you are 13, you are already a teen. And as menstruation usually starts at around 12, it's different for everyone, but it's like, I think, the standard age. It can be seen as this... how to say, this turning point where you go from a child to a teenager. So it's like stages of life. And so what I was trying to get at, yeah, we are getting like stages of life here, but it's so fleeting. And I think also maybe with the part where I said, oh, like it started like being like a train wreck. It happened all so fast. It was so confusing to me because we had like a more slow-paced story, and then now everything like just whoo, and I'm like, wait, what's happening? Is this a dream sequence? Is this all like really happening? Maybe was also done to show like how fast these things can happen, how fast the time can just flow by. And then you go through the stages of life, and then you are old, full of regrets. And yeah, and also another thing, he was doing this play. He also, this is part of wanting to leave something behind. I think it also could be, maybe they didn't think about it, I'm not sure, but I had this impression that you're also trying to do something big, something cool, some insane dream. But is this ever achievable? You are trying to polish it over years and years and years, but by this time you will just never finish it, and you will die without finishing it. And maybe with the thought, oh, now I know what to do with this play, and rest in peace. Like, I was working, I wanted really to make games. Well, from when I was little, actually, I was like drawing even how the stages in a platformer game would look like when I was little. But I really liked Prince of Persia. It was like I had Prince of Persia 1 and Prince of Persia 2. It was kind of like a platformer, you know, and I really enjoyed it. I played the heck out of it. It was, I think, still on MS-DOS. And then I don't know how to code really. And I found this RPG Maker thing, and I was like, oh, I can make a game in that because I don't really need to code. And I started making it. And I started doing it like 10 years ago. And I was just working on it and changing and polishing, and you know, 10 years have passed and I barely have a demo for it. It's like nothing is done because you have this huge project, this huge idea in your mind, this unachievable goal that you're just trying to perfect it, but it will never be perfect. And so only this year I was like, something switched in me, maybe because I found out about game jams. I was like, I gotta try that. And in 1 year I made small but several games. I made that first game in 3 days, another game in a few weeks, and like the last game, it became a bigger project again. But I finished a demo, and it's like maybe 40 minutes of play or so. It is something, but I'd say I was doing it for maybe a month or two, but I just was very overwhelmed with work and everything, so I didn't really have many dedicated days for this. But the idea is here, I started doing some smaller project, not that one dream perfect single one that I would just perfect for another 100 years. I started branching out and thinking, okay, I'll make something different, something small, something maybe a little bit bigger. I will try this, I will try that, I will change to another engine. And I think that's also the idea. Maybe if you just work on this single thing, it will consume your life, and it would be much healthier to maybe think a bit smaller and don't expect things to be perfect. Honestly, I feel like there were a lot of interesting themes and ideas and things you can interpret and talk about in this movie, and I will be honest, I don't feel like I fully understand it. I have my own opinions, like my interpretation, just like I said right now, like everything I was talking about before this moment. But while I was watching it, I felt confused a lot of times, and I don't think it's a bad thing. I think the film was very interesting. Maybe at some point I would rewatch it, even though it's so sad. I don't know, it's not sad in like you are crying, but it's just pitiful watching this. But I think that's like the feeling they wanted to convey, and as well as they made the conversations really awkward, and they made everything really well, I wouldn't say grotesque, but I think they were going for more realistic representation of life. I mean, it sounds funny because then it goes in some kind of dreamlike moments and sequences that are not really realistic, and it kind of weaves around reality and your own interpretation of reality and your own feelings as like his Cadence feelings. But at the same time, I think they try to show some like little realistic details of life, how it's not really perfect and has some kind of gritty moments, so to say. And I just think it would be really interesting if you watched that whole reaction, if you share your thoughts and feelings on this movie, because I feel like it's hard to really say with pieces of art like this what the creator has intended to say, because they're obviously not saying it like outright. There were some indications, but I think ending with something positive, I would say, considering the song as well. This is about more, the song was more about loneliness. I just want to live my life with someone else, not alone, and just have fun. That sounds really like nice. I know one of my friends has said that mostly people just want to live comfortably. As long as they can have their normal, kind of relatively comfortable life, then they won't really they won't try to risk it. For example, like in the song, this is a very popular Russian artist. He's dead by now. He died pretty young, and his name was, well, his surname was Tsoi, and everyone knows about Tsoi. And he had this song that is called, how to translate, it's like changes, but in a sentence where you would say I want changes, because words in Russian, they change depending on how you say them, right, in what sentences. So it's not in, oh my gosh, I don't know grammatical terms in English, I'm sorry. The idea is the song is about changes, and it is the lyrics, the part of the lyrics are сигареты в руках, чай на столе, и так страшно что-то менять. So a cigarette in your hand and tea on your table, and you are scared to make changes, to change anything. And so the idea here is that you have some basic stuff that you need. Well, I don't smoke, but I can understand what the idea is, you know. So you have some stuff, some kind of normal life, and you are scared that if you go out and try to change something, maybe for the better, you don't know what is going to happen. Maybe you're going to lose everything. Maybe you're going to lose even that cigarette and cup of tea. And so I don't remember how I got to this point in my conclusion. What was the point I was making? I wanted to end it on a happy note, but I think it became even more depressing. I started to think about the song and I felt like crying. So I think I should end this now because I don't have any thoughts that I can express in an honorable manner anymore, and I'm just starting rambling because I'm trying to process everything that I watched and come to kind of new conclusions and interpretations, and it is a process. So maybe, yeah, if you share your thoughts in the comments, your opinions, your views on this, maybe we can discuss something and maybe I'll have some new ideas as well. But I think it should be it for today. So if you watched my reaction, I hope you liked it and I hope you liked the movie. If you were watching it like for the first time or not, as I said, what are your thoughts on it? What are your interpretations? And yeah, that would just be it for now. So if you are watching it before New Year's, then Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. I'm filming this on 28th of December, so in the holidays, as you can see from, ending on a happy note. Happy holidays. Don't think about sad stuff. Okay, well, thank you for watching and see ya.